Heaven's California.
Hey guys, here I am, my 13th video of 13. This is going to be a Wansee entertainment video uploaded, I believe, today. And today's the 18th, so yeah. I'm probably not going to upload these till the 19th or 20th, but I may edit some, but I don't know, we'll see what happens. So, true hiking horror story. Let's get right into it. I don't really hike. I don't really, like a walk, okay, but not really a hike. And this one's like 6.5 minutes long too, so.
My name is Jude, and I'm 27 years old.
Okay.
I've always loved going camping ever since I was a young boy.
Another camping one.
Some of my earliest memories were of me sitting around the fire with Mom,
That's
Dad,
better.
and grandfathers, singing songs and telling stories. Whenever we told stories, we always ended the night on a scary story, right before going to bed. And my grandfather's
best way to do it.
stories were always the best. His descriptions gave me chills as he described vivid characters and monsters from his imagination.
Shit.
I always loved to hear his stories. But once, when I was 10 years old, something happened that scares me to this day.
And what's that?
One cool autumn day, my parents decided to take me camping with my grandfather, as we always did around that time of year. We arrived at
In
the
the fall?
campsite around 6 o'clock, and on the way in, I saw that the campsite we were driving into was different than the one we usually camped at.
That's creepy.
The entrance to the campground seemed old, and a lichen-covered stone sign with the name of the grounds greeted us as we drove in. We arrived and set up our tents. After eating dinner and cleaning up, we sat around the campfire as usual to tell our stories.
Okay.
I can't remember all of the stories told, except for the last, my grandfather's story. I remember the smell of the burning wood and burnt orange sunlight casting long shadows off into the trees behind us as he began to tell his tale. He started by saying that it was a true story from his childhood, and he had waited to tell it to me until I was old enough. This grabbed my attention, as usually my grandfather told fake stories, and never about himself. He said that he had been camping at the same campsite we were staying at when his story occurred. He started by saying the campground had been built back in the 1930s by CCC workers during the Great Depression, which, looking back, explained the oldness of the park. But at the time, as a kid, I really didn't care. He said that one night, around 1960-something, while camping with his father, he was fishing at the lake down at the end of the long hiking trail that led back to the campground.
Okay.
His dad told him it was time to leave, and they started off down the trail. As he was walking, he began to feel a strange sensation, as if he was being followed. He turned back, but supposedly saw nothing several times. He kept walking until he said he was stopped by a long, eerie moan rippling out from behind the trees. He described it as sounding like a ghost, or a person being slowly injured.
Okay.
He and his dad stopped in their tracks. His dad apparently tried to tell him it was a coyote, but my grandfather knew better. He told me it wasn't a coyote. He believed it was something else. Something more sinister. Nevertheless, after this encounter, he returned back to the campsite with his dad and never saw or heard anything else. He claimed that this was true, and obviously he wouldn't be telling this to us if he hadn't been affected by it. But to me, it seems silly. Scared by a noise? Come on. Anyway, about 2 days later, I was walking back to the site with my grandfather from a long day of hiking and picking wild berries in the nearby forest.
Okay.
Both of us were carrying heavy baskets full of berries to bring home. The sun was setting, and I noticed the long shadows peering out from behind the trees. As it began to grow darker, dead darker, the trail seemed to grow longer and longer. I began to feel a weird sensation in my stomach, like I was being watched. After about 5 minutes, the feeling began to grow, and I looked at my grandfather. He looked right back at me with the same fearful eyes.
Uh-oh.
I was in shock. Did he feel the same feeling? Then I remembered his story about the way he felt the night he heard the noise. I began to walk faster, and so did my grandfather, without saying a word. After about 20 minutes, it was completely dark, and our arms ached for carrying the berries up the trail. Right as I
It's so
turned the
dark now.
corner,
Ugh.
I heard a long, eerie moan. My
Uh-oh.
heart stopped as I froze in fear. My grandfather looked at me and said, "It's time to go."
Yeah.
With that, we began wailing swiftly down the trail as fast as we could without dropping our berries.
Okay.
Just as I began to relax, I heard it again.
Oh no.
Only this time, it was much louder. It sounded like someone being murdered.
Oh my god.
It was terrifying. It came from directly behind us, and I felt a burning sensation in the back of my head. I
Why?
dared not look back. I sat in fear, wondering of what could have made the noise, when suddenly I heard my grandfather scream, "Run!" I whipped my head around, and in the dark, foggy light, I squinted and I saw a tall, slender black shadow dart between the trees about 100 feet behind us on the trail.
Oh my Lanta.
I instantly dropped my bucket and ran like the wind down the trail as fast as I could. My grandfather was behind me. I became worried about him, as he was an old man,
Yeah.
and I was afraid he might hurt himself running down the rocky trail. But I didn't stop, nor did he until we reached the campsite. That night, I sat in my tent, heart racing, thinking about what could have made that noise. After we came back home, we never returned to the old campsite.
Good.
And to this day, that experience still haunts me.
Okay, since the video's over, I'm just gonna give you a heads up. I heard me yelling and annoying bitching downstairs, so just ignore that. But that was a pretty interesting one. I didn't really expect to hear that, but so basically they heard like random little like things. I don't know. It's so weird, but honestly, it was probably just I don't know if it was in their imagination, or if it was like someone actually being murdered or something. They should have like reported that. Maybe like maybe not call 911. Like I'll just report it. Say, okay, so at this campsite, I don't know if it's like real, I don't know if it's all in my head, but there's some shit going on there, based on in my head, so I don't know. I don't know if you want to check it out or something, just to make sure, I don't know. But if you heard screaming, like actually heard screaming and you're not imagining it, I mean, you could easily, because like for example, like dreams, like you can easily think a dream is real, like you can easily think, oh my god, that actually happened. No, it did not. So it could always be just a dream, so I don't know. It all really depends. Like, it could all be in your head and seem super real, which is why you think, oh my god, no, it happened, but it didn't, But I don't know what to really say about that one. That one's just pretty scary, but all I can say is be safe if you're hiking anywhere. Do not do that at nighttime, like if it's in the woods, that's obviously like really creepy in the day or at night, especially at night, but I don't know. Just be safe, guys, and that's all I can really say. Now I can rest after like an hour of watching videos. Oh my goodness. My neck's like it's sore right here. I don't know if you can, like right here. I don't know why. I wear a backpack, so it's always like pushing down here, but it doesn't hurt here at all. Just over here. So, like before it hurt here, now it hurts here. So I'm like I don't even know anymore. But it's weird. I'll be monitoring that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video whenever that's uploaded. And I'm just gonna check right now to make sure nothing else is uploaded. Just to make sure I'm actually caught up. I'm not caught up yet because it's not uploaded, but I'm caught up on watching. Okay, I'm good. So thank you guys for watching, and yeah, I hope you guys appreciate me like watching all these videos at once, and I'm going to upload them all tomorrow and Monday. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you guys thought of these stories, like each video that I did today and stuff. And yeah, peace out. Thanks for watching.